90% of everything you own crossed an ocean. If global trade suddenly stopped, the world would not slowly wind down. It would unravel in days. The system keeping it all moving is far more fragile than you think. Every hour, a silent procession of steel boxes crosses the world's oceans. These containers, 20 or 40 feet long, identical from Shanghai to Rotterdam, carry everything from smartphones to sneakers, car parts to coffee beans. In 2024, the volume reached 866 million 20-foot equivalent units. But this isn't just a statistic. It's the foundation of daily life for billions. 80 to 90% of all goods move by sea, packed into containers and stacked high on ships that dock at a handful of colossal ports. Shanghai alone handles nearly 50 million containers a year, while Singapore and Rotterdam serve as pivotal hubs linking continents. The flow is relentless, timed to the minute and concentrated through these few arteries. If even one port falters, the impact ripples far beyond the waterfront, exposing just how much the world relies on this hidden machinery. Factories and retailers no longer fill warehouses with months of backup stock. Instead, they depend on just-in-time logistics, an approach that delivers parts and products exactly when needed, not a moment sooner. Every link in the supply chain is coordinated by digital platforms that track ships, trucks, and trains in real time. Algorithms reroute containers on the fly, syncing deliveries across continents and modes of transport. This precision shaves billions off storage costs and keeps goods flowing at peak efficiency. But it also means there is almost no slack in the system. When a single shipment is delayed, production lines pause and store shelves stay empty. The same tools that orchestrate this global ballet can amplify disruption. A missed signal, a stalled container, and the ripple spreads instantly, exposing how much the world relies on perfect timing. At the Strait of Hormuz, the world's oil artery narrows to a fragile thread. Every day, or almost every day, nearly 1 in 5 barrels of crude, over 20 million barrels, used to squeeze through this passage, bound for power plants, factories, and gas stations from Tokyo to Rotterdam. When the strait closes, tankers halt and oil markets convulse. The only real detour, a pipeline across the United Arab Emirates, can handle less than a tenth of the normal flow. The rest must wait or risk a voyage around Africa, adding weeks and crushing costs. Thousands of miles away, the Suez Canal stands as the container lifeline. This single cut through Egypt carries about 12% of all global trade. When the Ever Given ran aground in 2021, $9 billion in goods stalled each day, and ships forced around the Cape of Good Hope faced delays of up to 17 days. These bottlenecks are not just lines on a map, they are the pulse points of modern life. In Southeast Asia, the Strait of Malacca forms a narrow, crowded artery, just 3 kilometers wide at its tightest point, yet carrying nearly 120,000 ships each year. Oil tankers, bulk carriers, and container giants thread this passage day and night, moving about a quarter of all seaborne goods and nearly 40% of Asia's energy imports. Any disruption here would leave factories from Guangzhou to Jakarta waiting for parts, and fuel supplies across the region running thin. Thousands of kilometers away, the Bosporus Strait slices through Istanbul, linking the Black Sea's grain and oil to global markets. Its traffic is governed by the 1936 Montreux Convention, which gives Turkey control over passage and sets strict limits on warships and merchant convoys. More than 40,000 vessels cross each year, including tankers loaded with Russian and Kazakh oil and bulk carriers hauling Ukrainian wheat. For Black Sea exporters, this is the only direct route to the world. When these straits are blocked or restricted, entire regions feel the shock, reminding us how much global stability depends on just a few narrow corridors. Within hours of the first ship stopping, the world's assembly lines begin to seize up. Car plants in Germany and electronics factories in Vietnam run short of key components, forcing production to halt. The just-in-time system, so efficient in normal times, leaves almost no room for error. Most manufacturers keep only a few days' worth of parts on hand. Fresh food supplies falter next. Supermarkets in major cities notice gaps on their shelves within 3 to 7 days, as imported fruit, vegetables and seafood spoil in stranded containers or perish in warehouses. At the ports, thousands of containers pile up, triggering a surge in demurrage fees. Costs climb by the hour as ships and trucks wait for clearance that never comes. Logistics managers scramble to find alternatives, but the network is gridlocked. In less than a week, the shock turns from a distant headline to a daily reality for millions. History offers a warning of just how quickly a single shock can upend the world economy. In 1973, the OPEC oil embargo sent crude prices soaring, from $3 to over $12 a barrel in just months. Gas lines stretched for blocks, inflation soared, and entire industries reeled. Today, the system is even more tightly wound. If trade froze, the shock would ripple through every sector. Financial markets could seize as banks scramble to price stranded cargo and unpaid invoices. The International Energy Agency warns that a sudden stop in oil flows could trigger price swings far beyond the 1970s, with energy costs quadrupling and food prices following. Experts outline 3 possible futures. In the best case, governments coordinate emergency reserves and rationing, softening the blow but leaving scars for years. In a deeper freeze, shortages and economic panic drive unemployment and unrest. The worst case sees global supply chains fragment, with nations hoarding resources and trust in the trading system shattered. Each outcome exposes how little slack remains in the arteries of global commerce, and how even a temporary blockage can leave lasting scars. The world's lifelines remain thin, just a handful of straits away from silence. As global tensions rise, our greatest vulnerability isn't distance, but just how closely everything is tied together. If you enjoy exploring the geography shaping global power, consider subscribing to Strategic Geography so you don't miss future videos. You can also explore the other videos on the channel to discover more strategic locations around the world. And tell us, which strategic location should we explore next?